My name is Claire, and I'm coming at you with this week's Cozy Cultural Critique. I am joined by my co-host Phoebe, who will not be participating at all and probably will sleep through the entire video. So I kind of got the ball rolling on this subject in my hot take discussion board post last week, but I really wanted to flesh out the subject a little bit more, add some research to it, give some examples, because I think it's really interesting and is also very culturally relevant. So today I want to talk a little bit about family vlog channels. So before I get too deep into the subject, I really want to define what I mean whenever I'm talking about family vlogs. So whenever I say family vlog channels, I mean channels on YouTube run by parents who usually have small children, where the children are pretty much the main focus of the content. These are typically geared at young children as the audience and also as the characters or, main content creators, even though the channels are run by the parents. The reason that these channels have really blown up in popularity requires a little bit of background, which I won't get too deep into, but basically a few years ago, YouTube really started cracking down on more adult-centered content, things that were not ad-friendly, were not family-friendly, were not kid-friendly. Those channels and videos started being demonetized, meaning they could not earn money from ad revenue. So these family channels, which were producing kid-friendly content, geared at smaller children, are very ad friendly, and so they receive a lot more views, they get pushed by YouTube's algorithm, and they are, making the most money. On the surface, these channels may seem harmless, but these channels actually do cause a lot of harm. But a lot of people wonder, what's the difference between a family channel and making home videos, or my mom posting ugly pictures of me on Facebook? The difference is that family vlogs are extremely harmful, especially the way they're being filmed today and the money that's being made off of them. Children from birth to, adolescence are spending so much time with a camera between them and their actual parents. This is such a dangerous thing psychologically for the children, but also for their privacy in the future. So these really embarrassing, awkward, private moments are being broadcast for millions of people. Even if the parents are screening the comments, not allowing the kids to read the comments, things on the internet live forever. Those children will be able to see that in the future. And I think that is a serious risk that parents need to really be taking into account. The difference between traditional child stars and family vlog child stars are that whenever actors, singers come home from work and are with their families, that's off time. They're not working during that time. But with family vlogs, your home is your workplace. Your parents are your bosses. Mom and dad might not be able to pay the mortgage on their $1 million mansion if you don't create some content real quick. So I think that puts a lot of pressure on the child, especially whenever the family's income is starting to be centered on, or their primary income is coming from their YouTube channel. That can be a really dangerous amount of pressure to put on the child and on the parents, and can really strain that relationship. I think something else that we don't talk about as often as we should is the fact that children can't consent to being filmed. They can't consent to their privacy being violated. It's only later in their lives that they might realize that, hey, I maybe didn't want my mom to film me getting my first period, or I didn't want my parents to prank me and film me crying. And so I think that is something that really needs to be talked about more, is how we can bring the children's consent into this and how we can make sure that we're protecting their privacy for their future lives. If you Google some of these kids that are on these family vlogs, you can find a lot of very private information about them, and that information will live on the internet forever for their future employers, friends, spouses. Everyone can see it. It never goes away. In my opinion, I think that a lot of family vlog channels should be shut down. I think that a lot of them are doing really harmful, unethical things to the children involved, and that those channels simply should not exist. But for those who toe the line or maybe haven't done anything wrong yet, I think it's important that YouTube and Facebook and all of these other social media platforms really step up and start regulating content that involves children. I think also the government really has a role in stepping in and starting to regulate social media platforms as well. We've seen a lot of this happen with Facebook recently, but I think it's important that just as we had child labor laws introduced in the early 20th century, 21st century needs to have its own child labor laws. I hope you've enjoyed my cultural critique, and me and Phoebe will see you later.